And how you doing, Tavros? Sly Fox back with you. Let me start my timer here. Here we go. It's been about a year since I've done any of these developer commentaries for my mission. This was the last mission I ever released. It's called Unnecessary Risk. It was the sequel to A Friend in Need. That mission you had to find out something about Lord Bafford. Well, now you're at Lord Bafford's summer house or hunting lodge or whatever the heck I've called it. And so we're here to rob it just for the heck of it. So I'm doing this game capture with Fraps. I just picked it up about a week ago and just fussed around with it this morning and figured out how to get all this stuff to work. So it makes ridiculously large videos at about a gigabyte a minute. So I'm trying to limit these to a half an hour, but they will be compressed before I upload them to YouTube. So they shouldn't be nowhere near that large, but I just don't want to. I don't know exactly what making a file that large does to a computer, so I don't want to let it go too long. So let's get it going. That's obviously in conjunction with Mexican Whooping Llama International. See, I'd actually done a movie.
Okay, I'll admit it. I'm getting a bit cocky in my old age. I don't need to do this job, but sometimes unnecessary risk is its own reward.
Yeah, you tell him, Garrett.
So tonight I'm going after Lord Bafford's country home. He and his nephew have just bought the place and plan to use it as a base for a bit of burrick hunting.
Yeah, get those birds.
It's miles north of the city, and if I know Bafford, it's sure to have lots of baubles just ripe for the picking. Also, me and Lord Bafford go way back, and I'm feeling more than a little slighted that he hasn't had me up for a visit. If there's one thing I can't abide by, it's bad manners. No sense in waiting. It's time to begin.
Yeah, and so for this one, I actually did a little movie. I figured out how to do that. That's about as rinky-dink a briefing movie as you're going to find, because I barely know how to make missions, let alone make movies and stuff. But so I did the music for that in the video, so that's all me. Everything you hear, even the cheesy keyboards in the back. So anyway, let's see. I might as well get started. And we can hear the barracks kind of breathing in the background. They're on the other side of these rocks here, and there's a speed potion here at the start, put here by the fire. I'm not sure why I didn't put that into the inventory. Knowing me, it was probably I decided to put it there at the last minute, and it was just easier to stick it on the ground than to stick it in the inventory. So that's probably why I did it. It's actually necessary, or at least it comes in handy, because I think there's more than one way to do it. There's an Easter egg in this mission where you can find Dewdrop in that little dolly, and I left it there for because Gloria Creep loves her Dewdrop dolly, so I put it in the mission for her. It's very difficult to get to, and you might not even, you can spot it easily enough from a certain spot in the mission, but you could certainly very easily miss it as well. I can remember I was trying to do a let's play for this dev commentary about a year ago for this mission, and I was wanting to demonstrate pretty much the coolest way to go to steal the Dewdrop dolly, but I was unable to do it. It requires a speed potion and a ridiculously long leap, and I don't know why I couldn't do it, and I figured out it was the fact that when I built this mission, I built it using Old Dark. And with the new Dark engine, I swear, something has changed ever so slightly, I think, as to exactly how far Garrett can jump or whatever. I don't know. All I know is I can create the jump easily enough on my old XP machine using Old Dark. But for some reason, when I'm trying to play through New Dark, I just can't get it to work. And I mean, I can get it to work at Old Dark like one time in 4. And with New Dark, I think I got it to work once, but I had to try it like 100 times. And I wanted to demonstrate that in a video, but since I was using New Dark to record, nobody wants to watch me do something 100 times just to do something once correctly. So that was one of the reasons this video never got released, because I had done a dev commentary for this thing about a year ago. But because of that business trying to demonstrate the Easter egg, it just was not working, and it just gave me fits, and I got really pissed off, and I just, So now it's been about a year. And now I'm back doing these things. So now we have to get by these burks. We have to let this mushroom dim. Otherwise we get them all upset. And it's easy enough to sneak by them. That's when you see a light like that, that's see, what's the DRAMED configuration for that? It's been a while. You got random but coherent. No, wait a minute. No, that's sliding smoothly between a maximum and a minimum brightness. So again, as remember, you might have heard me talking in my old dev commentary things, and I say, DRAMED is a lot of just nothing but boxes with numbers and field after field after field, and you just put in, numbers, and that's what makes things work. Over here we have a little pond, and you can see there's got a few water arrows in here. We've got to pick them up. Now, you notice over here there's a ladder, and you'd think, why the hell is there a ladder in a pond? For some reason, let's see, I'm trying to mantle out of this pond. You can see it's just, it's about a DRAMED unit, it's a foot or so. And you normally should be able to, mantle right out of something like that. For some reason, I have no idea why, you just can't mantle out of this pond. And, there's another arrow. So I didn't feel like bothering to fix it or figure out what was wrong, so I just stuck a ladder there just to give the player, a way to get out of the pond. But I don't know why. You should normally be able to mantle out of something like that, but for this mission you can't. Chalk that up to me. If I find a way to break something without even knowing it, it'll be me. So, I get a drink of water here. And over here, there's a dead thief lying on the ground, and I'm about ready to trigger a comment because Garrett's going to say something here, so I'll be quiet.
I wonder. Oh, well, not to worry. I'm a lot better than this guy.
So Garrett obviously, I guess he recognizes whoever that is. Probably a downwinder, and so that was a voiceover, a little voice trap there. That's triggered by something in DRAMED called a bounds trigger, and it's just a little marker you place in the mission. You can't see it, but when you get within a certain number of feet of it, it'll trigger something. So in that case, it triggered a WAV file to play, so to trigger a Garrett comment. And I believe there's another Burrick over there as well, so you want to... Where we're going is all the way up there. You can see, well, you can't really tell, but there's a huge brick wall up there, and it's a perimeter wall for the estate. And this is the only way into the estate. You sort of have to climb up these rocks to go up a cliff. And you'll notice a lot of people, when they do stuff like this, you make these, you make rocks like this, they'll texture it all one thing. So it just, to me, that's always a little boring. So I just, using a couple different textures on different faces of the thing just to give it a little more, just a little more variety. Plus, sometimes it can just help you tell where you're going, because when things are all one texture, especially if you're in a cave and everything's one texture, it can be kind of hard to which way's up, which way's down. Is there something back there? It's so anyway. And there's a rope arrow here stuck into a tree, and again, a little more behind the scenes DRAMED type of stuff. I couldn't figure out how to get a rope arrow stuck to the tree. And I obviously wanted it there because the thief is down there, and he's killed himself, obviously, trying to break into Bafford's place here, and obviously this is the rope arrow that he was using. And I don't know if there's a right way or wrong way to do this, but to implement this, there's a thing called an emitter trap, and normally you see that in like tomb missions where it shoots that purple crap at you or whatever. But you can get an emitter trap to emit, I guess, just about anything. So I needed to get the thing to emit a rope arrow. So you have to place the trap just right in the world so when it emits, the rope would shoot and stick into that tree. And here I am pointing again. You can't see me point. I did in my first Let's Play. I did this. I was pointing at crap. Anyway, so I'm trying to get a rope arrow to stick in the tree. So I get the emitter trap to work, but then you have to trigger the emitter trap. So somewhere in the world that you can't get to is a button, like a red button you normally see when you want an elevator to come to you. And above that button, I placed a crate, about a unit or two above the button. So when the mission starts, the crate is in midair. Well, crates want to fall. So the crate falls, bang, hits the button, triggers the emitter trap to shoot a rope arrow to stick into this tree. And I think if you start the game and you turn the volume up really loud, you probably get a whiff. I think you can even hear the crate fall somewhere, and or maybe it's just you hear the arrow hit the tree or whatever. But if you listen real closely at the beginning of the mission, you can hear some of that sound. So again, crazy stuff to how to get things to work. I remember that trick a because I remember Frauber, who did the Keeper of the Prophecies series, he had used that trick to do things in his mission or whatever. So there's a falling crate hitting the button, triggering something to happen. It's an old drama ed trick. It might be not the greatest way to implement something, but when I find a way to implement something, then I usually just stick with it. So, and anyway, yep, the frame rate diving here. Okay, so we put a rope bar in this. We climb up a little further. Now up here, we're going to have a guard conversation. It's getting ready to trigger. You hear the one guard is the Thief 1 guard, and I remember taking many, many hours to import his voice set into this mission to be used for Thief 2, and it turns out there was one thing I did that just took forever, and it turns out there was a really easy way to do it, but I didn't know, so it just it took me like 2 hours longer than a computer literate person would have taken, but I got it done. So you'll hear that one guard who's the Thief 1 guard. You never hear him in Thief 2. So anyway, so we're getting ready to trigger a conversation. This is another bounds trigger that you have to hit. And so if you trigger the conversation and move around, the conversation will keep starting. So I'm going to trigger the conversation, keep still, and let it play. So here we go.
Hey, did you hear about last night?
Yeah, old Dingle's quite a shot, isn't he? Got eyes just like a hawk, too. Him and the rest of those tower guards. Baffert's not taking any chances these days, it seems.
No, he's not. Not taking any chances.
No, he's not either. That thief didn't stand a chance. Tried to get away, but he slipped and fell. Could hear him screaming all the way down. Splat. Guess he's Burrick food now.
Yeah, I don't like those things one little bit. Always causing trouble with their tunneling all the taffin time.
Yeah, Burke's
Look at us, guarding this here hole in the taffin wall, instead of being inside.
Yeah, you'd think Baffert would have had it fixed as soon as he bought the place. But then, who'd have thunk anybody'd be fool enough to scale the cliff?
Not me, that's for sure. Here the Masons will be around next week to fix it up good. But until then, I guess it's you and me standing here making sure no one else tries anything.
Yeah, well, at least it's not the dead of winter, so we're not freezing.
I hear you there. Last winter, Bout saw me with frostbitten toes 'cause the boss was too cheap to buy new boots. I mean, new boots had me walking like somebody's grandma for a week. But once the Mason broke in, well, it's worth it.
Thanks for sharing that.
No problem, friend.
Yeah, so there you go. Life of a guard at Baffert's Manor and everything. So, and it's easy enough to just run up here and sneak by them, and we'll get into the dark. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but in my headphones there's seems like there's a comb filtering effect, and that's an audio term for when two signals aren't lined up correctly in time with each other. So it sounds like the left and the right are off by about 20 milliseconds or so. That's like 20 thousandths of a second, which is just enough to be audible, and it's making me kind of nuts. But I'm just going to soldier on and deal with it. I don't know if that's just something that I'm hearing now and we're not going to hear in the final movie or not. But so if you hear anything that sort of sounds a little odd, that could be what you're hearing. And so anyway, we got to get into the manor, which is over there, and there's a couple ways to do that. You can see, wait a minute, nope, that's gamma. Wanted to zoom in. I'm changing the gamma here. There we go. You see that wood there? You can stick an arrow there and a rope arrow into there and clamp her over the wall. Or we can go and do a slightly more interesting way, which I will attempt to do now.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Who goes? Someone there.
You guys can see. And there's guys up in the tower. There's actually nothing up in the towers. I probably should have put something in there because people went to the trouble to, I don't know how they got up there. I guess they killed the guy or blackjacked him somehow or whatever. But each tower has a guard with really, really good eyesight. And you'll notice if you're paying attention to that conversation, they talk about that the guards have really good eyesight. And that was one thing that I remember taking many hours to fiddle with each one of those guards, and to adjust their eyesight, because it was when I gave this thing to my testers for the first version. No, see, and there I am. I'm busted. He sees me. So they had insanely good eyesight, and they still have good eyesight, but it was a lot worse when I first gave it to the testers. So, and since he can't even get out of the tower or tell anybody, I won't even consider that a bust. So, and obviously I don't want to stop and reload after everything. You see people do these Let's Plays, and some people just, they got to reload every 2 seconds because they did something wrong. You're like, I'm here to comment on the mission, not so much to play it brilliantly or anything. So I'm trying to keep reloads to a minimum in all these Let's Plays. I think out of all the missions I've done, I think I've done 1 reload. So I'm just going to have to go really slow here so that guy doesn't see me. And so
Watched a few days ago.
yeah, I'm still right in his way. So, and we're creeping up here. There's this building in the frame here is a guard barracks. So yeah, okay, we're back in the nice dark, and I think I can just creep along here, and then he won't see me anymore. So I can feel a sneeze coming. Okay, yeah, there's a guy out there way ahead. That guy has a big long patrol. He goes all over the place. So I'm far enough away he won't see me. So we'll close the door here, and just a nice little place for the guards to live. Nothing in sync. A little fire going here. And oh yeah, that's right. I gave all the guards names. I don't know if I name them. If you knock them out, they have names, but at least I put names on their bunks. So we got Dan and Bill. There's Benny's bunk, and Dingle, Heffer or whatever. So and we got a few chests here. I forget what's in them. I think we got okay. So I guess there was an arrow or 2 in there. And, okay, a loaf of bread. And this one's locked too. And what might we find in here? When did I build this thing? I think it was 2007 I released this thing. 2008, something like that. Okay, so again, 2 gold. Again, some people, I don't know what you're thinking when, you put 100 gold in a chest that a guard, that's a guard's chest. There's no way he's going to have that kind of money, But 2 gold pieces, yeah, that's his little stash. Okay, nothing in that, obviously there. And here. Ooh, a couple of mines. All right. And, okay, yeah, bogs in there, so. And now I'm going to just get this so I don't have to come back for it. I know for a fact that, and you'll see elsewhere in the mission that Benny's pilfered some wine. And there we go. It's right there. So he's hid it there. And so we'll just steal Benny's wine so we don't have to come back here and take it later. And where's that guy wandering around? Okay, the roaming guard he's okay. I guess he's gone way over there. Okay, now I gave you a slow fall potion in this mission. Actually, I gave you many. It was actually helpful in nabbing Dewdrop, but you see this tree here? It goes over the fence, and it's possible to run up the tree and use a slow fall potion to not kill yourself. And so you go like that. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I meant to land on the ground here, but landing on the wall's still good. And silently down here. Okay. So here's the. Now you're inside the inner perimeter. And there's a guy patrolling around up there. Now, those of you might recognize this house a bit because the brushwork for the house was taken from one of my first missions, Bafford's Bone Collection. It's basically the same house, but I've just done, and I took that map and I just made it bigger and spiced it up and decorated it differently and everything. So,
Hey, think anything will happen tonight?
oh, that's right. We have a conversation here.
Probably not. That nutball thief getting onto the grounds was 1,000,000 to 1 shot. Dingle put an arrow in his backside, and when he tried to make a hasty getaway, he fell over the cliff to his doom. That's the end of that.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, you ever seen that Garrett fella who done stole the Lord's scepter a while back?
Nah, I wasn't working for Bafford back then. Good thing, too. Heard he sacked the whole staff and had the guards whipped, but good. I like my backside just the way it is. No whip marks.
Yeah, I hear you there. Hey, do you know when Lord Bafford is due back again?
Frederick said it'd be sometime next week. Bafford and his nephew are going on another hunting expedition to the western marshes. What sport there is in hunting burricks with
Hard
fire
come along,
arrows
better move
I'll
out of the
never
way.
see. They never even get close enough to get a whiff of their breath. Then they come back here, servants carrying all the heavy stuff, and they act like they just conquered the world or something.
Yeah, I hear you there. Hey, you ever hear about the secret room that the boss is supposed to have inside?
Yeah, I heard that rumor, but Frederick says it's bogus. Said he went over every inch of the place last week. Kept a rag in his hand to pretend he was cleaning in case the boss caught him snooping. He didn't find nothing.
Hey, did you ever... What is your problem? Shut the hell up. Stop asking me all these questions. Every night we stand here and it's the same thing. Question after question, over and over. I swear, next time I get paid, I'm going back into the city and buy you a tapping set of tapping encyclopedias. Then I'm going to come back here and glue your ass to the nearest chair until you've read them all twice. God, don't you ever shut up. I'm sick of hearing your mouth. Now shut the hell up and leave me alone.
Well, I guess he told him there. So, yeah, I should have had the guy say something about don't gotta get all huffy or something about it. But when you do a conversation between two guards, there's only so many lines that you can put into a conversation. I think you give them like about 6 lines apiece or whatever the heck it is, and that conversation needed one more line to actually be complete. But then I'd have had to do another conversation just for that one line. I just went, screw it. He doesn't need to say anything. So he just sort of waves his arm around or whatever. I can even see it from here. Here we go. About dead center of your screen, you can see a single coin laying there in the yard, and if there's an optional objective, basically if you find all the loot, you get a hey, good job bonus, you found all the loot type of thing. So that's where the one I'm pointing again. That's where that one final coin is. So I guess a lot of people found all the loot except for that coin, and because there's that coin, and then there's a tiny gold ring somewhere on the floor in the library on the first floor of the mission, and it'd be really easy to miss that thing too. But that gold ring was actually there in the first version of this mission, Bafford's Bone Collection. So that was one piece of loot that just carried over to the new mission here. And there's a guy going around here. He's got a key, and for the life of me, I can't remember what the hell that key is for. So I'll see if I can't follow him and get it. So obviously it's the covered business here. This is supposed to be the the entrance to the manor proper, but all there is wall in that direction. There's no world space or anything that's been built. So, so hopefully these guys won't see me. I better quick save just in case if I do have to reload. And so I can run up behind this guy. life of me, okay, and I don't even have it labeled. It's just a key, so for life of me, I don't know what it's for. I think maybe I locked the doors to the house. I don't know. I think I can. Oh, that guy don't see me. Okay, yeah, you just keep walking.
Noise, stop! Guess it was nothing.
Okay, I think you can rope arrow up here.
Someone's making noise?
Give it a try. Yeah, there we go. So. And, that's right, oh, that's right, and you can get on the roof too. I think there's, yeah, there's an Easter egg up here, or at least some,
Thought I heard
there's some potions or something I hid in the chimney, and I remember I had hidden those there in the first version of this mission as well. And I believe this is Vigil's lovely roof texture. And you can walk over the roof. In the original version of this game, Baffer's Bone Collection was done for one of Comag's contests. I think contest number 5, I believe it was. And I built that mission really quickly while my first mission, Fletcher's Final Mistake, was in beta testing. So I built Baffer's Bone Collection really quickly, and it was since it was a contest mission, all of Comag's contest missions, I think all of them, had size limitations. And I think you could use, there were like 5 40 by 40 cubes or something you had to put your mission into. And I basically just took that space and made just one big cube, stuck a big house in it with just enough, room so you could walk around it. And that was my mission. But the house was tall enough that when you got up here, you couldn't walk over the top of the roof here while you were standing up, because your head was actually hitting the top of the confines of the mission. So one thing I did when I built this one is I made the ceiling a little bit higher so you don't have to duck going over the roof. And over here in the chimney should be, yeah, see, I had some potions here, and there's even a little plaque, happy Easter egg. So there we go. And I think there's a door. Is it on this side? Yeah, there's a door down here. Yep. And easy enough to get into the mansion this way, or the house, not really a mansion. And somebody does patrol through here at some point, so I gotta... Oh yeah, I can hear the servant whistling. That's another thing. I did a full voice set. I'm just gonna put this out. Give me a nice dark spot to stand while I talk. I did a full voice set for a character named Frederick, and he's, I guess, Bafford's the head housekeeper here. One of the guards talks about him in one of the conversations. So that took, many hours of sitting there and just, figuring out what would a servant say and that kind of thing. So you'll hear the odd, he's kind of an effeminate kind of, talking guy, and so that's something that you don't really see too often in missions. Somebody taking the time, to do a full voice set for a servant, but just for some reason I just felt like doing it, and voice work is something that I can do, versus a lot of fancy scripted drama ed stuff. So it's just a way to add a little something to the mission, something a little bit different, and so he says many things, especially if he gets killed or knocked out. There's some funny things that I have him say, or actually at one point, Frederick doesn't even speak. I speak for him, and I'm just, I chide the player for, basically, killing an unarmed little pansy, that kind of thing. So, I mean, you could play this mission 10, 15 times and even kill him and never hear that audio file, because, at each condition in a voice set for an AI, there's like 1, 2, 3, there's usually like about a half a dozen different things that they might say, and they just get played at random. The game engine says, okay, condition 1, he's alerted to this, so play XYZ, ABC, or whatever of these files. So, and so, you can play a mission quite a few times and not hear certain things. So, anyway, I guess this is supposed to be a Bafford's diary. First night here, things are going well. Blah, blah, blah. So you can pause and read this. So he's going on about the perimeter wall and the Burricks. And just returned from a Burrick hunt. Fire crystals are great. Okay, yeah, the finest wine's gone missing. Frederick can't find it. Well, obviously we found it. Benny stole it. So you can pause this and read these if you like. Okay, and he's talking. He's got some kind of growth probably on his butt or something. I don't know. Whatever. It's Lord Baffert. Anyway, and he's got many things to steal here. Purses. I think that. Wasn't there a flute there? I thought there was a flute there. It might have been in the original version. I might have moved it or taken it out. And okay. And something to steal in here. Try to do this before somebody comes walking through here. Obviously, I'm lit up like a Christmas tree right now. Okay, I don't know why that thing always does that. When you pick it, it goes backwards. So whoever built that model didn't do a very good job. Oh yeah. Oh no, it's just some glasses. Oh yeah, that's right. Actually, I think like most of the loot in this mission is in this room. I forget how much there is, but you can see, like, you know, before this floor was plain, and you can see I was getting a little fancier building stuff. So, you know, you have different brushes to, you know, give yourself different surfaces so you can texture them differently. And the yellow accent light in the windows over there, I remember those are mushrooms. Those are left over from the original version of this mission as well. I don't know. For my first couple missions, for some reason, I just fell in love with putting mushrooms everywhere. I don't know why I like the mushroom light. So it's just... anyway, so, okay, well, this is going on about a half hour, so I'm trying to keep these videos to a half hour, so that's my beeper telling me that we've been a half an hour. So I'm going to stop here now, and we'll fire back up again, and we'll make another movie. So we'll probably split this one. You know, this one will probably be two parts. So anyway, thanks for watching. Part 2 coming up soon.